Have you ever checked into your bed and you instantly pull up your phone and look through emails, or when you're at the dinner table, even look through your assignments or Canvas? Ultimately, our phone has been incorporated into our day-to-day lives, right? Back in before the smartphone in 2007, you don't expect for kids and adults, professors and teachers, students to be on anything around the times where they're supposed to be working and focusing, such as the dinner table, in the kitchen, in the rooms, or when they're just working on homework, right? But now in today's age, there's a drastic shift in that. Ever since the smartphone has been introduced in our lives, or just phones in general, we're just focused more on being attentive to it. Always needing to be on the phone, so much so that when you're laying in bed, you just need to be on it, or when you're at the dinner table, you need to be checking proactively. And in my presentation today, I'm just here to exemplify why there's such a need to self regulate the amount of time we're on our phones and when we're on work. The fact that there may be a need for a separation between the work life and the life we have at home. The first problem I have, the first topic I'd like to bring up is the fact that as a result of bringing in smartphones into our lives, especially in a growing age of technology, there's fine blurred lines in our world, right? Now, all of a sudden, when I'm driving to work, all of a sudden I have an access to a smartphone that can allow me to multitask while I'm working, being connected to people who I want to be with personally, on a personal level through my drives, whether it be my family or whether I'm driving for personal reasons back home and still being able to connect it with work, such as coworkers or boss or emails and such. All of a sudden, those times where you would have time to yourself, essentially, time to rest, time to translate between work and home life, there's blurred, right? Now, even like I said, with just now, even with just traveling in between place to place, do we have access to both worlds at the same time? And is that a problem? Is that a bad thing? According to many studies, it is. Dr. Ellen of 2016's article of managing work-life boundaries in a digital age says it causes a drastically bad impact, right? The fact that there's no line between work and home means a lot of different implications, such as anytime you're at home, you're bringing the thought process of work in your home, such as needing to focus, needing to concentrate, being to be loyal to your company. All those implications now, while at your work, are now being brought home to the fact that you need to be loyal to your company, the fact that you need to work hard and focus are all of a sudden three good traits being applied somewhere where it's not needed. In the same way for home, where you need to relax, connect with family, grow your relationships and fellowship on a personal level, all of a sudden when you're at work and you're like looking through emails, personal or business emails, and you're looking at personal text, and because you have the access to it, it's right there, right next to you. Now all of a sudden, bringing those homely, personal connections, time you need to rest, time you need to grow in fellowship, keep in touch with your family, are now brought to your work. And now, because of this access and condition of having everyone having a phone, it becomes a norm, which means if everyone's doing it, I should be doing it or able to, right? But those blurred lines drastically impact both worlds in a very negative to neutral way, which should not happen if the goal is to be positive all the time. As a result of the two situations, there are some pros and cons, and hence there's many pros because of the fact that this culture wants it for a reason, right? The pros is like go back to the flex style I was able to be, which was the integrator, right? I've integrated personally my phone into my day-to-day life, whether it be at home or be at work, or in this case, a full-time student. Or when I get to my future job, I feel conditioned to have my phone in my pocket, like one of those things that need to be on me at all times. And so as an integrator, I could be more adaptable, right? I all of a sudden, because I have my phone, I have the need to switch in between, in and out of where I'm at. Since I'm at home, since I'm in the car, since I'm at work or as a working student, right? Anytime on a dime when I'm needed, right? I'm trying to go to the rec center to have fun. When I'm needed as a friend and as a family member, on a dime, I could be at the ready to be by their side and help my personal life while I'm concentrating on other things on a moment's notice. That's a good thing, right? Helps me build those relationships, show my people in my life that I love them and care for them and are willing to essentially make sacrifices for them whenever they need me to. And I'd hope the same for them. And also, the side note for work life, if I'm able to work while I'm midst with my friends and family, I can still somewhat give my friends and family some time of my presence while still being able to complete tasks, making sure everything's okay at work and be at perfect peace and harmony. Show loyalty to the company that I'm able to work for. Or in this case, as a full-time student, show my teachers and proctors that I'm attentive and desire to work hard in these classes. But the big cost is never being present, right? Essentially, like, it's even as plain as day as it is, whenever you're trying to multitask in multiple things, you're just not consistently focusing on one thing as you should be, right? I'm not 100% giving my time to my family if I'm thinking about school life, on Canvas projects I need to work on. I'm not 100% working my school life if I have to worry about my family on a moment's notice, especially as a growing populace of ADHD, right? We're going to be harder to transition between the two and hence think about anxiously about the other whenever you're in the wrong place. That divide is very clearly blurred. And that's a bad thing as a result of giving the intentionality and the time we give to both work and home. It's also unfair to us as people if we're trying to bring work home to the point where all of a sudden we're working amount of hours that should be covered by either someone else or be paid for. And we're freely offering that because that's just the culture is with having a smartphone. As a result of this, there's a few strategies we can do to help define that line instead of allowing it to be blurred. According to the 2024 guide by Purdue University called Managing the Work-Life Boundaries in a Hybrid World, some strategies can be as simple as allocating the time you want for the things you need, right? Say if you do need to be on some things for work at home, allocate the time to be separate from your family and from your work while at home, and let that be very clear so that you not only keep your heart honorable to your family, but your heart's also honorable to the company or the student life you work for, and you're stay loyal to them. And even as it means like cutting in minutes or half an hours by the dime, at least you're showing yourself honorable to both of the sides 100% you're trying to pour into without being dishonorable by not giving your full presence when you're either working with one or the other. And another strategy, especially we sometimes forget, is just whenever we head to bed, right? As a result of being in a hybrid society, a lack of rest is a commonality between work life and home life and their blurred lines because we're constantly focusing on one and the other when in home life we should be resting, enjoying, right? Recharging, so to speak. And we can't do that if we're in hybrid. So even when you go before bed, unplug, right? You're not contactable. You need rest. Everyone needs rest to a degree, and you don't want to sacrifice that. All in all, what I'm trying to exemplify through this presentation is that a phone is a great tool, but should be nothing more than just a tool. It is not something that should control your behavior, and to rather be something that enhances your relationship with your work and your bonds as a family.